The drama in All Elite Wrestling continues literally as we speak, as the 3-year anniversary of AEW Dynamite is about to kick off in 1 minute, and apparently there might be some more backstage turmoil going down. Tony Khan, about 30 minutes ago, has canceled Andrade's career versus mask match this Friday on SmackDown against Preston Vance, and as of right now anyway, Sammy Guevara is still set to appear tonight in his tag team match with Chris Jericho, taking on Danielson and Garcia. So there are rampant, reckless speculation going around right now that maybe Andrade is actually gone. He may have gotten what he wanted today. I mean, if Tony Khan canceled the match on Friday, but not Sammy's, what other explanation would there be unless Andrade beat the shit out of Sammy backstage today, and now Tony Khan is suspending or firing Andrade or whatever. Andrade has tweeted out a couple of things in the last 15 minutes. One of them was just a picture that said, "Respect me and I'll respect you." So something went down behind the scenes today, and who knows what the stories are going to tell us in the upcoming hours and the upcoming days. We might find out later tonight. We might find out tomorrow what exactly is going on with Andrade. And Andrade is not the type of guy to really mince words, so he's probably just going to come out and say whatever the hell is going on. But as of right now, he has not mentioned anything yet. It is the top of the hour, and my Big Bang Theory is still playing, so I'm trying to get onto Dynamite here. All right, there we go. Probably be a minute behind you guys. Good to see everybody who's here as we try to digest all this crazy drama and see if we find out any more information tonight on Dynamite as to what's going on with Andrade and Sammy and all this nonsense. But good to see you. Michael Cuomo is in the house. So's Ben Espinoza, Ruben Litton, Chaz Medeiros, family member. Michael, like I said, family member. C-Mac, JJ Leg, and Deshaun Robinson, who is at the show currently right now. He just sent me a pic wearing his Brody Lee shirt up in D.C. for Dynamite tonight. Glad you chimed in, Deshaun, and have fun, man. Have a really good time. Ronnie is in the house as well. We got Big J, Andy Linnell, Lloyd, Grissom, Sean Ireland, Roderick, Lil Justin. Who else is in the house? Angie Law, David Brown, and Zach Polgett chiming in as well as Dynamite is officially underway. Crazy. Here comes MJF. Looks like a pretty small arena. Look at the size of that ramp. Super tiny ramp. That's like a Daly's Place ramp. That's a Daly's Place pandemic ramp. All right, guys, help me out. The last time this guy's been in the ring, I think I was at the event. Double or Nothing, right? Has he wrestled? I don't believe he has. What's up, Ultimate WWE fan? I haven't even grabbed a beer yet. I think it's because I only have one left, so I'm going to grab one in a minute. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen MJF in the ring. Looks like a small venue. I did get a look at some of those ticket advances for AEW for some of their upcoming shows. Not good at the moment, so hopefully those will pick up for them. All right, Wheeler Yuta. Yachiro is in the house as well. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Smash that thumbs up button for me if you guys don't mind. ODV, ordinary decent villain. You scrumptious daffodil, you. You exquisite Rice Krispie treat, you. Yeah, AEW running house shows doesn't seem to be in their business model right now, but I feel like they might want to get to there. But right now, I'd be in no rush to do house shows because at this point, with everything going on in AEW, and the regime change in WWE and kind of the landscape changing, and a lot of people are looking at WWE now as the more attractive place. The one thing AEW still will always have going for them over WWE is they don't have a ridiculous schedule that will kill you. So there are some talents that want to work more, want to wrestle, wrestle, wrestle. There are others who don't want to do so much. So those will be possibly finding AEW more attractive. So I think the wrestlers that want a lighter schedule, or maybe are banged up, or have already had several injuries, or maybe in their late 30s or approaching their 40s, AEW might be a better place for them in terms of the mileage it puts on their bodies. And the travel, and just the travel, If you're in your 40s, that means you've been wrestling a good 20 years, which means you've been traveling a lot. You need a break from that. And traveling in WWE is not going to get any better under Triple H. That's not one aspect of the business I don't think he's going to have much control over. Now we got Luchasaurus in action tonight with Christian. I mean, MJF's going to have to, unfortunately, I would think here, beat Yuta. Oh, yeah, I forgot, JJ. Thank you for that. The Joker appearance technically would count, but it really wasn't a match, Going to try to be eyeballing Twitter to see if we hear any news on Andrade here.
He's got to learn. He's got to get that mean streak out of him that we saw when he first joined the Blackpool Combat. I give you a lot of credit for that, Regal. That's excellent coaching by you to put your man in a ring.
I'm a little disappointed so far about the lack of compliments that Regal is hurling at Excalibur. Unless Excalibur's not there. I think he's there. Yeah, there's Excalibur. He's there. Yeah, Brian Cage being announced to face Wardlow, I thought was odd. I mean, it's an open challenge, so there's the reason for it, but the dude hasn't even been on TV in like a year. It's not like he's been doing stuff on TV and he's just going to answer the challenge. Where the hell's he been all this time? Oof. All right, we're going to go to pitcher and pitcher. Jeremy, if this is going to lead to Tony Khan becoming a Mr. McMahon type of character, I don't see it happening. I don't think Tony Khan can pull that off. I like Tony Khan. I'm actually a Tony Khan defender because I think people who are obsessed with hating on him have something chemically wrong inside of them to hate a human being that they'll never meet, never know, have completely wrong and infactual, incorrect opinions of. I don't get it. However, I do admit that Tony Khan is weird as shit, and there's no way that he would be able to come off and have the presence that Vince did. Just because he's a different type of guy. He's weird. He's got a weird voice. He seems spazzy as hell sometimes, and I'm just not sure if he could, if he even has the composure to be a character like that. Because you got to remember, Vince McMahon, he was the head of WWE for so many years. He was an announcer underneath his dad, and he bought the company from his dad, and he was able to be in and around pro wrestling for 35 years before, he chose to do something like that and actually become a character. Here Tony Khan has only been involved in wrestling for about 3-4 years tops, if you count the time that it took to, put AEW together and get it launched. I just don't think he's going to really understand how to feed off the crowd and get them riled up the way that Vince did, because he was such an ass, and he had a good way of basically communicating that he was such an ass. And the way Tony Khan just yells and everything, I feel like fans booed Vince because he was such a hateable character. I think fans would boo Tony Khan because they just don't think he should be in the ring cutting promos. So it would be a completely different thing, and I just don't think Tony Khan can pull it off. As much as I like him, I don't think he can pull it off. Well, what's on TMZ? Why don't you just tell me what's on TMZ? Okay, so both wrestlers have been sent home, which means, okay, so TMZ is reporting that AEW stars Sammy Guevara and Andrade were just involved in a backstage altercation. Sources tell TMZ Sports, and both wrestlers have been sent home. That means that Sammy Guevara, who's scheduled to be in the main event tonight, will not be. Okay, so we got some information on that. Well, that is crazy. So something tells me they're going to run an angle. I think they still are showing Sammy on the graphic. So, like, part of me thinks they would just run a storyline reason for him not to be there. But with the entire world knowing about what just happened, it's going to be hard for them to pretend that didn't happen. I don't know, man. It's weird. This is exactly the type of shit I'm talking about with Tony Khan. So I'm looking at the replies under the TMZ tweet, and one of the first ones I see is, "This happens because the owner is a mark." Like, it's just, the owner sounds like he did what he was supposed to do here. These two guys, he should have probably known this was going to happen and tried to stop it before it did, but, sounds like he took action. He's going to cancel an advertised main event tonight that's been advertised for a week. And he's willing to cancel that to get a guy out of there. I think a mark would be a guy that would, take a side or not punish the wrestlers or something like that. Sounds like Tony's doing what he has to do, even if it sucks. But crazy. Well, let's see if Sean or Dave knows anything. No, Fightful Select just posted something. They might have gotten Fightful might have gotten scooped by TMZ as Wheeler Yuta and MJF continue to wrestle in the ring. But honestly, guys, this other shit is more. Oh no, he hasn't even posted this yet. Okay. I thought it was an article that was up right now. It is not. He said more information coming later tonight. So Sean will do a deep dive into that and give us some specifics. TMZ has reported about the altercation. Both guys have been sent home. You had to know that was going to happen. I mean, they basically said as much in the tweets, even though Andrade did say that he's not going to beat the shit out of him because he's a professional. He did say, "I will see you on Wednesday." So sounds like they weren't working things out over a nice iced latte. Let me get back to the chat here. See what you guys are saying. Sorry, I'm just like all over the interwebs right now trying to find out the latest on this juicy dirt. Spectre, appreciate that $5. Hey, Greg, probably not staying tonight, but I wanted to wish you a happy Scissoring Day. Thank you very much. Did you get a chance to decorate? I got my tree up yesterday. Yes, scissoring lights, scissoring tree is up. We went scissoring caroling last night, singing all the classic scissoring songs. It was great. Good family time. Turkey's in the oven. As soon as we're done here with Dynamite, I'm going to sit down for a nice family Scissoring Day dinner. I'm really excited. Pass the yams. It does kind of suck, though, I mean, that all this is happening. This is supposed to be a big night for AEW. I mean, this is a 3-year anniversary, or it's a night that's at least celebrating their 3 years. Mr. Brody Lee's final match anniversary a couple years ago, coming up on Friday, which is why Preston was involved, and I don't know what they're doing. Oh, yeah, multiple pinning combinations. Oh, Chaz Medeiros, did I get you on that that member sub? Thank you very much, dude, for becoming a member. I thought you already were one. Maybe you upgraded. Oh, no, you're family now. I don't know what's going on there, but thank you so much, dude, for joining, and to all the members, of course. Well, let me, while I'm doing this here, we're going to do some housekeeping while we're doing Wheeler. And, oh, that's a great overhead camera shot of Yuta and MJF. I'm going to change the title of this video.
Turn to your side, Wheeler. There we go, sunshine, there we go. Both men rousing at about the same time. Up to the knees. Yuta. And MJF up first. Yuta up with the assistance of the ropes. Yuta looks a little.
There we go. Let's fix that.
Sure. MJF charges in. Yuta. Dodges through. The top and middle rope lands a right hand.
All right, cool. Trying to get back to the action here. And also keep an eye on the chat and keep an eye on Twitter to find out what the hell. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, sorry about that, Spectre, but thank you for chiming in earlier. Please feel better. And Chaz, thank you for upgrading that membership. I know I've said your name out in the shout-out, so I was a little confused there for a second. Appreciate that. Appreciate that upgrade, my friend. And thanks for everything. Nick Musser, good to see you as well. Glad you're here too, Nick. Hopefully everything's going well, but we can all enjoy this drama together as a family because shit is crazy in AEW right now. And I don't feel like I'm giving Wheeler and MJF enough credit because, or enough attention because everything else has been dominating. Oh. Oh, wow. I don't know what the deal is with Sammy. It seems like he's involved in a lot of these things, but Sammy is not much of one who's going to go out and try to be picking fights. Sammy does not want to find out. You know what I mean? With Andrade. So I don't know why he... Oh, wow. Big splash by Wheeler. That was great. Wow, and he almost got him. Like, Andrade is... I would not fuck with him, you know? Those boys from Mexico, it's not... I'm going to try to do my best to I'll go ahead and get along with him and Roosh and anybody else, you know? I'm definitely not going to be disrespecting them. But I think Sammy does have a lot of... unwarranted hate. People just naturally dislike him because he's got a hot girlfriend and that type of thing. And he just kind of looks like a kid that's kind of a douche. But I've met Sam. He's a great dude. And who isn't a little mature when you're young and good looking? You know, of course you're going to be cocky. You know, look at how Randy Orton talks about his early days, you know, and what a fucking douchebag he is. Sammy's just going through the same stuff. Everybody's a fucking prick when you're young and you're cocky and you're talented and you're seeing some money and you got a hot, gorgeous wife. You know, other things will go badly in Sammy's life, and he'll go through the peaks and valleys as we all do. And, you know, that will mature him, and he will grow. He will evolve. He will look back on past behavior and probably be mortified by it and probably own up to it. It's what we all go through. Anybody out there in this chat my age right now, 40 or more? And that's it. Wheeler is tapping out to MJF. I like that. But if you're 40s or better, even 30s or better, you think back to the way you were when you were 20, 15, 20, 25, some of the things you might have did, said, the way you acted, some of the thoughts you had. You're embarrassed, aren't you? I know I am. So as long as Sammy isn't, like an absolute cancer or anything, I think being a cocky prick that most of the locker room kind of rolls their eyes at is not uncommon. Look at The Miz. Same thing, In time, you mature, and in time, you do get the respect from the fans. And Sammy is not there yet. Not even close. But he's too talented to fuck up his career over stupid drama. So I'm hoping that cooler heads will prevail there. All right, Wheeler's going to have it. Come on, MJF. What are you going to do? I'm really curious if MJF's going to do a code of honor here or not. Shake his hand, MJF. MJF's in really good shape. It's a shame that he's 5'3". I mean, how tall is MJF? 5'7"? Oh, Moriarty. Looking like Dennis Rodman up in here. Ooh, I didn't tell him to do that. Nice shirt. Here comes Stokely. Stokely with a little sweater, a little collared shirt. He's so presentable. Looks like he's going to his first grade school photo. Oh, Regal's got the knucks. I love it. Sammy's 29. I didn't even know how old he was. Well, some people bloom later. He'll get it. We've seen plenty of pricks in wrestling. A lot of them grow out of it. But it seems like everybody else is the one with the physical aggression on Sammy. I don't think Sammy's picking fights with Eddie Kingston or Andrade. That would seem foolish. We're going to learn the story of what happened, I'm sure. But if I had to guess, I'm not thinking Sammy's throwing the first punch in that situation. Even if he is a prick, and even if he did start it, and even if everybody hates it, he can't be that dumb. All right, MJF is walking away from Regal and his knucks. Yeah, they are still advertising the main event despite what TMZ has noted here. So we'll see what happens. Guess we're going to find out together. Oh, there it is. Wow. Yeah, because you know what else sucks is Sammy Guevara had the first ever match in AEW history, correct? And there he is. They're going to show all this now? I did that. Yeah, TMZ said punches were thrown. So, I mean, that's really messed up. I mean, who do you blame in that situation, you know? Yeah, I mean, obviously you're blaming them both if they've both been sent home. Unless they sent both guys home and then Sammy secretly comes back and works the main event and then is maybe suspended the very next day. I'd almost rather have him come back and work it at this point, but Jesus, what drama. So there he is right there. He looks fine. Are we getting worked? Yeah, well, 13 minutes ago, Fightful said at least one wrestler was sent home. I guess we know which one that was. Well, it looks like whatever this fight and scuffle was not that bad. Sammy looks fine. Oh, big boos. Here comes Jay Lethal. Here comes Darby. Heavy boos for Sammy. So that means the audience here is, on their phones too, reading all this shit. This is the way it was for me at Double or Nothing because I was in Vegas and in a hotel room and outside the arena. I wasn't in my normal, cockpit here. So I could get very little information, I felt like, about MJF. It was a lot of hearsay. It was a lot of whatever I could read on my phone. What the hell's going on with that whole situation? And I didn't really know for sure until he came out and opened up Double or Nothing to job to Wardlow. So now we got Darby Allin and Jay Lethal, an arena full of people, I think, who are looking at their phone being, holy shit, TMZ says whatever. So I got to go reread that TMZ post to see if they did say both guys were sent home. Because Sean Ross Sapp, about 20 minutes ago, said at least one was sent home. Didn't say they were both. TMZ's got a new article up now. Let's see if they've edited this one. Now it just says Andrade has been sent home. I swear the first one said both were sent home. Sounds like Sammy's got heat. Yikes. What a fucking mess, y'all. I mean, the rest of the talent has got to try to focus on their match. The production crew's got to do their stuff. Tony Khan has got to manage that and also probably just, be there on headset at Gorilla, directing traffic. You got the announcers trying to just make the best of it. You probably got some talent back there legitimately pissed because this is kind of a slap in the face and a big insult to your company that's trying to celebrate their 3-year anniversary, and this is going to – and as usual – or not as usual, but has been the case for the past few months, the wrong things are becoming the focal point of the show. Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing, we saw what happened with MJF and the drama and the distraction that caused. Then it all out. CM Punk wins the title and then completely undoes everything with a media scrum rant that completely trips up and throws a big monkey wrench into the company, their future plans. They had to strip 4 champions, suspend guys. The face of their company may never come back, and then they try to recover from that. A couple of talent meetings. We hear that everything is fine. Morale is up. And then Andrade and Sammy start beefing on Twitter, and things come to a head, and they get in a physical altercation here at Dynamite prior to the show when Sammy is booked for the main event and Andrade has got a career versus mask match on Friday. This is the 3-year anniversary celebration for this show, and it is all completely overshadowed now by this drama, this nonsense, this immaturity, this bullshit really on social media. And I think it's insulting to your peers, to the talent there that actually does want to make this company a success and is out there working hard and cares a lot and wants to have, a good, strong, cohesive locker room. And they want the company to excel. And shit like this is going to slow it down regardless of whose fault it is. So it's easy to point the finger at Sammy, I think, because he was just involved in one of these things with Eddie Kingston. But he also doesn't seem like a guy that should really be picking certain fights. You know what I mean? Like, I can totally see him being a prick or a douche to somebody who's bigger and stronger than him because Shawn Michaels used to do that shit all the time. So I can totally understand a young kid, granted Sammy is 29, but somebody who's young, good-looking, talented, got a hot wife. Of course, that type of cockiness, that type of arrogance is something that we see time and time again in pro wrestling. Randy Orton, The Miz, countless others who start their careers as assholes but retire as well-respected veterans. And I think Sammy will get there. Sammy will get over maybe some of these, personality issues he may have that rubs people the wrong way. But in terms of him going out there and searching out fist fights, you think Andrade is a guy that Sammy Guevara wants to be messing with? You think Eddie Kingston is a guy he really wants to be fucking with? I mean, I just don't see Sammy being an aggressor in that way. But I can see Sammy pissing somebody off to the point where they just want to straight slap the shit out of him in the locker room. So regardless of whose fault it is, no talent should put this type of pressure on the company they work for their coworkers and their comrades in the locker room, and just for the wrestling fans at home when you're compromising what should be a very important show. And AEW is trying to recover from all the negative nonsense publicity and everything going on after All Out and Brawl Out and Scrumgate and all that stuff. They're trying to recover from that. They're going to go with Moxley now, and they're just trying to pull everything back together, get the talent back on the same page, and then as soon as they feel like they're making some progress there, something really stupid like this happens, and it forces you to cancel a big advertised match for a big show on Friday, and then even puts in jeopardy your main event for tonight. Up until 10 minutes ago, we thought Sammy Guevara had been sent home with Andrade and the main event wasn't going to happen. But we just saw Sammy Guevara backstage in the promo. He looks fine, doesn't have a black eye, doesn't look like he got the shit kicked out of him. So whatever kind of physical altercation happened between these two guys, looks like they were separated out pretty quick. Because one thing I think we can all agree on is that Sammy Guevara did not beat the shit out of Andrade. So probably one or two punches were thrown, or they reached for each other and guys spread them apart. Because you had to have known this is happening. They basically said as much on social media. Andrade said, "I'll see you Wednesday." Did say he's not going to beat the shit out of him because he's a professional, but also said, "I will see you on Wednesday." So the people in the building there, Tony Khan should have put the word out to his security team and to the talent, make sure these two guys aren't alone together. And if they are coming together to have some words or whatever, just make sure people are there. And who knows, maybe Andrade confronted Sammy about what he said, and Sammy just acted like Sammy. And maybe that was enough. Andrade wants out of his contract so bad. I think that's pretty clear. He wants to go back to WWE. His wife is there. Everything is waiting there for him. And he's a guy that gives zero fucks, will say what he feels, and will not mince words at all. And he's been posting very cryptic stuff lately to social media and to Twitter, really hinting and confirming even that he is unhappy with, and a little bit disappointed, I should say, with his run in AEW so far, and even compared it to some of the disappointment and deflation that he felt in WWE. Kind of gave him the same feeling creatively. So he's not somebody that's really holding back. He clearly wants out, and even though Tony Khan has handed down this edict that he's not going to be granting any releases, I think he should still judge each situation on a case-by-case basis. And you can make a big blanket statement saying, yeah, I'm not going to grant any releases, but if the right situation comes around, I think it's better for yourself and for your talent that you just cut your losses, even if, that involves a massive no-compete or something like that, just to get that out of your locker room and get a guy who really, truly doesn't want to be there off of your payroll. And I think that's how Tony Khan should handle it for the time being. And he shouldn't just give anybody who wants a release, because that could create a snowball effect. But I think there are certain situations where maybe it's best, as if Andrade's heart is just not going to be in it and he doesn't care. I don't know what the point of even paying him is. Let him go back if that's where he wants to go, especially since he already has a spouse that's there, and it's probably just better overall. So we will see what happened, what the story says, and what we hear of from, Fightful Select or Meltzer or whoever else has connections and eyeballs and ears backstage as to who was the aggressor, who started it, who threw the first punch. Obviously, it sounds like Andrade did, since he was the one sent home, and who's had his match canceled on Friday. But what will that result in? Is that just Andrade going to get suspended and then he's going to come back? Or is this finally going to result in what Andrade wants, and that appears to be a release? We'll have to see what happens there. I just wanted to kind of interrupt our watch-along as Darby and Jay Lethal are having a match here in the ring with my thoughts on that whole situation. It's crazy. It's all going down literally as we speak, and that's pretty nuts that on a night that should be AEW's 3-year anniversary, we are barely paying attention to the show, and all we're doing is trying to find out what the fuck happened between Andrade and Sammy Guevara. Crazy stuff in AEW. Sammy Guevara threw the first punch. Well, I can't really challenge you there because I haven't seen that, but I think that's really crazy if he did. I think Sammy, I can understand Sammy being cocky, but Sammy can't be stupid. Who the fuck would throw the first punch against Andrade? Yeah, here we go. Let me just kind of read some of this. Okay, yeah, no new information on that end. But yeah, this is going to get a ton of heat for Sammy too. I mean, he's already just hugely disliked. So I'd run with it, man. That's what I said when he started getting all the heat because of his relationship with Ty Mello. And I said, run with it, man. Just be it. Just fucking stick your tongue all down in her right in front of the crowd every night you come out there because they are just going to boo like crazy. Boo like crazy. I can understand. I mean, there's certain fans that are never going to get laid in their life. And then there's someone like Sammy who gets to do that. So they're just naturally going to not like him. You know, it's human nature to be that way. Look at, what is the date on that? November 19th. I wasn't even aware of the date of Full Gear. I've seen at least 2 unique camera angles tonight. That one they just shot there, the shot of the ramp with Satnam Singh and Sonjay on it, and they did another one in the opening match with Wheeler and MJF. It was like a lower set hard cam shot or something. It was interesting. There he is. He got it. Last suppered him. FTW. Wow. Crazy stuff, man. All right. Sammy wins. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm going to go grab a cold brew out of the refrigerator. And I suppose I need to find a can opener too. Or a bottle opener, which I have. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Chris Thomas, I am, my friend. I'm very excited for Extreme Rules on Saturday. Y'all want the link? I already got the link up for the review. It's already there, man. I have not done the link, however, for Friday's predictions, but I will. Here's the Extreme Rules review. I'm going to post it in here. Uh-oh. Shake his hand. Nobody wants to do the handshaking tonight. And he did. Good job, Jay Lethal. Andrade gets sent home, but Sammy doesn't. Weird. Well, we'll find out why that is, you know. Once we hear the story and articles start coming out, we start getting multiple eyewitness reports, eventually, you know, enough of them will start. Enough of them will start painting a picture of what happened. Who is calling me from Murrieta, California? I don't want to talk to you. Don't care what you want. Leave me alone. I mean, maybe Sammy is tougher than he looks. I mean, one thing about Sammy, he just looks like a really young kid. And so I think that's why I have trouble taking him seriously as like a badass. I love his work in the ring. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. He has an incredible moveset and great athleticism, and I like everything he does in the ring. But he looks kind of like a kid. That will change. Drew McIntyre once looked like a kid. Now he looks like a man. Here comes Brian Cage. Look at him. There was a time here in the company when I thought Brian Cage was going to get the Wardlow push, you know? Like, to have muscles like that, what do you have to eat? Do you have to eat like a goat for breakfast? What's for lunch? A wicker swing set? Here comes Wardlow. I have no idea why they cooled this man off. They could have just kept running with him, man. When he won that TNT title, it reminded me of when Goldberg beat Raven for the U.S. title. I couldn't imagine Goldberg being put in a fucking tag team with Ice Train after that. Those cold brews going down. Only having one cold brew tonight, Raff Man. Because that's all I got in the fridge. I forgot to stop at the store today. And I'm like, you know what? No big deal. I got a lot of work to do after the stream goes off the air. So this way, I'm not trying to do that with a buzz. Look at this face-to-face here. Who's got the height on this? They look about equal. I thought Wardlow might have him in it, but man, jeez. Like, I have no idea who would win in a shoot between these two guys. I have no idea if Brian Cage has any fighting ability. When I was a restaurant manager, when I was the GM of my job back on the East Coast in North Carolina, I saw a guy, no shit, that was Brian Cage's size in my bar get taken down by a guy that I would say might be the size of Bryce Remsburg, something like that. The restaurant was big. I was told that there was some words being had between two patrons, and I should maybe get over there. But it was already happening. By the time I was even starting the journey, I could hear commotion. And by the time I ran in there, the little guy had taken down the big guy and was just fucking punching him in the head. Luckily, I have very, very fearless busboys, and they jumped in there and pulled him apart. And I didn't have to get very physical at all. But it's living proof that just because you lift weights doesn't mean you can fight. Is he... Oh my gosh, he's 6'19" and he caught him. Too much Brian Cage ass crack. Ugh. Very powerful. I wonder if they worked out together this morning. Hey, meet me at the gym. Let's just fucking bounce a few Mack trucks off our chests for a couple hours. Just for fun. Yeah, Brian Cage with a 6'19". What's going on here? Wow. An Alabama slam? Power bomb? An Ala power bombs and a power slam bomb? I don't know what you'd call it. Brian Cage and Wardlow. Interesting match. Oh, wow. I just pulled back up my Twitter feed, and I see I've lost it now. It kind of refreshed, and it's gone. But whatever the last picture Becky Lynch just put up was... Oh, there it is. Pretty hilarious looking. 1 minute ago. How you get 881 likes in 1 minute? A lot of people complaining that Andrade was sent home and not Sammy. I think, here's my take on it. If it was Sammy and anyone else, If it was Sammy Guevara and who the fuck else, any wrestler, just pick one. Why can't I think of one? Someone kind of close to him. If it was Sammy Guevara and Orange Cassidy, if it was Sammy Guevara and Orange Cassidy, and this happened, and we saw him beefing a little bit on Twitter, and then we hear about this, I would have questions. I would be like, this is fucked up. Why did they send Cassidy home? And why is Sammy still there involved in his match when there's a physical altercation? That seems messed up. But since it's Andrade, and he kind of said he was going to confront Sammy, and he clearly wants out of the company, and it's a guy who doesn't want to be there, you know, maybe in this situation, he just is the guy to send home, and he's just going to send him home and release him and be done with it, and, you know, maybe deal with Sammy on the side. And maybe, you know, because what would you prefer here? You know, I think Sammy Guevara also needs to, yeah, I guess he just needs some maturity training or just how not to be a douchebag training. And like I said, I've met Sammy Guevara. He seemed like nothing like how he's portrayed by the fans. Nicest dude in the world. I think that I've one of the nicest wrestlers that I've ever met easily. And I don't see it from that perspective, but you know, he's got a reputation, and Andrade is not the first wrestler to publicly say in an interview that he doesn't like him. I know Eddie Kingston said as much, and a few other people. I think Sammy Guevara, has a little bit of the same reputation that maybe The Miz did, you know, because a lot of people in the locker room just didn't like him and rubbed people the wrong way and had kind of an attitude to him or whatnot, and just didn't have a very desirable personality, I guess. So I can understand that. I've worked in the restaurant business my whole life. I've had to work with all sorts of different people, and you always come along one that's just that fucking asshole. You guys know it. You guys go through it too, I'm sure, in your jobs. It's like most of the people there you probably like, but there's one or two that you like to run over with a bus. Wow, look at Wardlow. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. See, why aren't they pushing this guy? Why did they cool him off? What was that like a Falcon Arrow type of thing? What would that be? I mean, it was a run up the ropes and then whatever that was. You didn't know I had a Twitter. It's like the only social media I have. I basically just gave up on the Facebook page because I hate Facebook. I'm never on Facebook in my regular life, and it's just a pain in the ass to upload it or just to post on it, and I just suck at it. So we have 2,000 plus followers on the page. It's just I don't utilize it. I should probably hire a social media manager. I also should start an Instagram account as well. Oh my God, big super. That looked great. But in terms of like TikToks and what's the other one? I don't think I can do it. I wouldn't know what to do. I like that we're getting a match here. And we're getting a good one. Zane G, thank you for that, man. I'll answer that in 1 second. I feel like we're getting close to the finish here. No, Cage will kick out. Feel like we've got to get a power bomb. Well, props to Cage, man. He's giving Wardlow a good match. They're doing some pretty impressive stuff. We've seen a 619 from Cage. I don't know what the hell that shit Wardlow just did, running up the ropes like that. Crazy, man. Nope. Oh, yeah. Zane, I'm going to answer that question in 1 second, but since it's about a whole different subject than what's going on here, I'm just going to wait till the end of this match. But yeah, lots of Bray Wyatt stuff. No way. No way, yeah. Wardlow's... Oh, nice. Headbutt. Oh, jeez. Oh, Wardlow, you got to put Cage away.
Can Wardlow land a powerbomb symphony on an athlete the size of Cage? Yes, he can. With ease. Good gosh. I don't know, champ. You should have went for the cover there, I think. I wouldn't try anything too ready, in my opinion. That's good advice, Taz. Fans are calling for one more time. They want one more, but Wardlow.
Oh, that's what it was. It was a whisper in the wind. I'm like, what the hell was that? 2 power bombs to Cage. Well, that's going to be it for Cage in a minute. Michael, you'll admit that you're an arrogant asshole at work? Well, that's cool. You're a channel member. You guys can do what you want. If you weren't a channel member, I'd have to block you. But, of course, I would never do that to you. And plus, I think you're lying. I think you're a swell dude, disguised as an asshole. Is this it? 4? That's got to be it. Oh, choking him. Wow. See, that's the type of wins I think Wardlow should have been getting this whole time instead of branching off and going down kind of an odd path there after all that momentum. It's like if you're blowing everybody away in a car race and you're gaining such momentum, why are you just going to purposely take one of your wheels off? Oh, here we go. Who's coming? Joe, of course. That's a lot of beef. My God, you know, Joe. I had never seen whatever match it was, the big crazy bump that Joe took in TNA. I'd never seen that before. I sucked at watching TNA. And he did something where he ran off the balcony, and they're like in the stands, and he basically just does a senton into the aisleway or the steps or something. And it's just the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm sure that took a few years off his career. It's about time. Tony Khan, we still work for you. Book us, brother. Well, there we go. Still like to see you guys in a match. We're not getting a song for nearly as long as I usually like. Well, this feels like it'll be an 8-man tag on Rampage or something. Wardlow, Joe, and FTR against all these dudes. Big FTR chance. I can't wait to hear the crowd response to Sammy Guevara in the main event. That's going to be awesome. Right on, JJ. Leaving your job on to the next chapter of Pharmacy Tech next Tuesday. That is great news. Good luck. New chapters are fun. I feel like one coming my way in the next couple years. Not sure exactly what, but I feel like maybe a location change or something, even though I love San Diego. Don't know. All right. Let me go back to this one. Let me check this text message first, make sure. All right, cool. I can get back to that person. Zane G. Sorry for the massive delay there, but I want to thank you for that very generous $20 drop. In regards to Extreme Rules, what's up, Mike Work? Hope you are well. Question with Extreme Rules this Saturday and a possible Wyatt return. Do you see him interfering in a match or destroying someone during an in-ring promo? Well, I was trying to think about that when I was talking the other day because I got my predictions coming up on Friday, and I'm like, I feel like he's gonna get involved in one of these matches, and I feel like the first one that comes to mind would be Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre. I feel like that would be a good way to get Karrion Kross a win, perhaps, without really totally beating McIntyre if Wyatt returns during all of this. Still remains to be seen if Wyatt is coming alone or if he is, in fact, maybe building a faction. And you've got guys like Dexter Lumis and maybe even Alexa Bliss and some other pieces that are going to come together and form something. We don't even know that yet. But I also feel like it's possible he could turn up in the Finn Balor and Edge match, although I kind of think that the Judgment Day will just threaten to rip Beth Phoenix's arms off unless Edge says I quit, and that'll be the way Edge loses. So I feel like it's just got to be Kross and McIntyre. Otherwise, I feel like he could just come back, like you said, in a promo or maybe just show up somewhere. Doesn't feel like he'd show up at either women's match, so I feel like maybe he shows up at the end. I don't know. I don't see him turning up in the Fight Pit match. That thing's already got Daniel Cormier involved in that, so I feel like it's got to be one of those two. But I'll give it some more thought. But I kind of hope it's Extreme Rules. They've given no real hints to that unless they do it on Friday. They could do it Friday and just say, hey, tomorrow's going to be the day. But there's also been a lot of reports that Extreme Rules should be the event. But thank you again, Zane, for being here. Appreciate that, as always. Alexter Lumbliss. That's awesome. The JAS segment could have been pre-taped. It could have, but it felt live. Usually, in this format, these are live, and when they're taped, they tell you. Earlier on in the day, Alvarez got a chance to speak to whatever the fuck. That's my take on it. Unless they taped that during the day and then they still figure out a way to kind of write Sammy off. I don't know. The doctors have not medically cleared her to compete. Why do they have to talk like that? My house. I love Britt Baker. You see that when, well, I guess everybody does it. You see like when girls make like a YouTube video, or not a YouTube video, just take a video of themselves, if they're talking any smack, and it's always like, it's fucking hilarious. What is this? Oh, yeah. Penelope. Joining her, Yoga Woman. I'm surprised WWE never had a Yoga Woman in like the 90s. Maybe Sunny could have been Yoga Woman. Jamie Hayter, man, I'm telling you. They better do something with her before they forget to, because fans react to her. I thought they were not. I can't believe they put her and Britt back together. It felt like that split was going to be permanent, but guess not. For my restaurant, when the Padres are in the playoffs, with my place, it might hurt business a little bit if people want to stay home and watch it. People don't come to us to watch a game. We have one TV. It's in the bar, but nobody comes to us to watch anything. We have a place next door with 30 TVs on the wall. But we will put games on in the bar all the time, and people will watch them. But people aren't coming to us to watch the game, but they will watch it if it's on, kind of thing. That thing looks like a bitch to travel with, whatever those wings are. Who's this guy? Okay, I was like, who's this guy running up to Athena? So I'm not a fan of whatever that contraption is she's wearing. I don't get the point. Everything else about Athena I love. But that thing, lose it. It's like, here, I glued a fucking erector set to my back. Tony, on the other hand, I think has the star look to her. It's a whole lot of likable people. I like Tony. I like Willow. I like Athena. I like Jamie Hayter. We all know Deeb can go. And I'm kind of indifferent on Penelope. Victor Colon, appreciate the $2. Did you hear about Tony Khan canceling 10 versus Andrade? Yeah, I heard about it earlier today when he made that decision. And then all of the other drama kind of followed that about an hour or so later. But you knew something went on because Tony Khan said that the match is off. He didn't really say why. He didn't have a whole lot of enthusiasm in the tweet. He was like, here's what's happening now. We'll find a different way to honor Mr. Brody Lee on Friday and tune into Rampage or whatever. So you knew something went down because if that match isn't on, that means Andrade is either being sent home or potentially punished, or maybe he got a release. Could mean anything. And then we find out that it was because the two of them got into a physical altercation behind the scenes and he was sent home. I still don't think people should be that surprised at it, in terms of why Sammy wasn't sent home. When you look at the situation and what's going on with Andrade, it doesn't, to me, seem far-fetched that he went to the show tonight saying, well, maybe if I just punch his fucking head, I'll get fired. What does he care? It's not like he clearly wants out. If I'm like in his position anyway, if I'm looking at it from Andrade's perspective, if I'm in Andrade's shoes, I got nothing to lose. It's not like I have a job waiting for me. It doesn't matter what I do here. I have a job waiting for me. I'm in no jeopardy of losing money or anything like that. Maybe I can lose out on this contract, potentially even be sued if I beat the shit out of Sammy. But in terms of my wrestling career, yes, I might be burning this bridge, but it's probably a bridge I'm never going to have to cross again anyway if, I plan on staying with my wife for the rest of my life, which I'm sure he plans on doing. So from his perspective, and if I'm somebody that has the zero fucks attitude that Andrade has, I might go to work that day and smack a little fucker in the face and try to get myself fired. I could see a wrestler coming to that conclusion in their head. I don't think it's really that crazy. So maybe that's exactly what happened. And once we hear the stories and the accounts from the eyewitnesses and whatever, and that's the story and that's the picture that's painted for us, then that's, then that kind of does absolve Sammy. He's not like, he was attacked or he got his ass kicked. I don't think you should be suspended for being a prick. Oh, the hip attack to Serena was gnarly. But if you could get suspended just for being a prick, wrestling wouldn't even have existed in the 90s. Draymond Green fighting his teammates at Warriors practice. Everyone is fighting. I've met Draymond. I have hosted 2 Warriors team dinners at my restaurant right after they won the championships. Got to meet the whole team, coaches, everybody. Met Luke Walton and Steve Kerr and Tom Thibodeau was a assistant at that time. He was there. All the players, Steph Curry, they were all there. I met all the Wizards once too when I lived in Wilmington and managed a restaurant there because Michael Jordan would hold the Wizards camps in Wilmington, and they would all stay at nearby, nice hotels and stuff, and they would come in as a team for dinner, and we would run several of those for every camp. All right, we got a picture-in-picture here. It looks like the heels are in control in the 8-woman match. Curious if we will get another women's segment after this. By the way, we are having a 2-hour and 15-minute show tonight. Tony Khan did say that we are going to get an overrun and that tonight is guaranteed to go long. So we'll see. Michael, appreciate the $2. Oh, yeah, they were great. They were great. Well, we also know that when we were caught, we know we can charge through the nose, and which is what we did because we basically shut down for them. And then they were basically had their full, they could basically order anything they wanted. So first thing Steph Curry did is pick out a couple, $2,000 or $3,000 bottles of wine just for the little group of his table, because we just had tables spread out everywhere. They could just come in, sit wherever they wanted. I forget the guy's name. I want to say is it Leandro Barbosa, maybe a little French player, and he was the pimpiest one. Oh, my God. He sat by himself with no other players, but he had, no kidding, 5, count them, 5 women that were not just the wives of the players or friends or anything like that. These were what Godfather carried with him. That's what he had for real. And it was hilarious. And it just smelled like this really, really expensive, strong, like cologne at his little pocket of the table. He had a woman on each side of him, and then he had 3 others, and they were just all about him. And I guess it was this little like female entourage. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. But it's like, man, some people just live a life of it's just too much. And it was hysterical to me. He was the funniest one. He was the funniest guy. Andre Iguodala was a water snob. He decided that what we had, Evian, when he asked me what kind of bottled water. And I was like, well, I got tons of Evian behind the bar. He goes, man, you got nothing better than that? I'm like, water? I'm like, I thought Evian's pretty good. We just keep that shit in here in case snooty people want it. And he actually had a problem with that. And I'm like, well, I'll just get out the toilet. How about that? But it was great. There was just 4 of us that did it. Me and the owner and manager, and then the other manager, and then a small kitchen staff. We just did it ourselves. It was awesome. We dressed casually. I think I was in jeans. Oh, big spiny spine by Willow. That's awesome. Ooh, you guys were late on that save there, Serena Deeb. Well, it feels like Willow Nightingale's starting to get a little bit sharper, because she's going to be very easily liked. I think most people kind of root for her, so it's good to see her get better in the ring. That was a good-looking spine buster. Oh, what she got? Crutches. Rebel I love, too. Oh, Saraya's like, I don't think so. I kind of like her in the back to the old Paige way. I'm not going to pin Serena Deeb. Her move is the pounce. It was okay. I mean, it's not going to be a Monty Brown pounce, but it's not horrible. Ooh. Could sell. Athena's in there now. Wow. There's Tony in there finally. Oh my God. Big backbreaker by Hayter. Willow missed a bit on that thrust kick. Oh! Penelope kind of saved that cutter. She kind of lost her balance and was able to hit it. Didn't look that bad. I think this whole match has been like, okay, that didn't look that bad. Or it could have been worse. Ooh, that was a good spot. Defenseless. See, Willow's, for someone with her size, is pretty fast. I mean, she was up to counter that. And she pinned her. Good job, baby faces. Oh, this whole time I thought it was an 8-woman tag. It's a 6-woman. My bad. Willow Nightingale to beat Jade. If they did that, it would have to be book it as an upset instead of building her momentum to. Oh, and Paige just, or I'm sorry, Saraya just slaps Britt. Oh, and they're go. Saraya's getting physical. Y'all. I mean, in WWE, she was on the no-touch list. She's physical. Rebel. I don't. Oh man, this is great. Oh yeah. Nice. Roosh. Well, Shell Shock, if she was cleared to wrestle, I think maybe she is. They're making a storyline out of it. Britt's mentioning it in her promo, and now Saraya just got physical for the first time in years in the ring. So I kind of think maybe AEW has got a doctor to clear her. So I feel like Andrade would have been involved in this if he didn't get in that fight tonight. It's National Scissoring Day. Here we go. Oh, they got shit set up. Oh, God. Are they going to say anything about the Andrade fight? Hey, that was pretty good. Nothing controversial. There's Billy Gunn, not feeling like he's going to be a part of DX's deal.
country celebrating National Scissoring Day. Even the culinary icon Alton Brown. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Listen, I've been part of many. In my years, I've seen so many great National Scissor Days. This
National Scissor Days.
one I've ever witnessed. That's right.
Wait, is it National Scissor Day or National Scissor Ring Day? I don't even know. So this is what WWE fears is going to happen in their DX thing, which is probably why Billy is not going to be there.
Washington, D.C., welcome to the very first annual National Scissoring Day.
I love that there's a podium.
Special night, unlike anything of our great sports history, and it's brought to you by the Acclaimed, the most popular team in all of professional wrestling. That's right.
That's right.
The winningest team in AEW history. That's right. The best damn homegrown team in AEW history. That's right. And today, it was made official, thanks to every single one of you. The Scissor Me Daddy Ass t-shirt is now the #1 selling t-shirt in 2022. That's right. He's doing pretty good on his own. Most importantly, the Acclaimed, your forever champs, we brought home gold, which means AEW no longer stands for All Elite Wrestling. No, AEW stands for Acclaimed every Wednesday.
Acclaimed every Wednesday. Okay. I feel like they should have done something like this right after they won the titles, but I guess they had to wait until it was National Scissoring Day.
It's cause for celebration,
But this should have been the segment right after they won. I think they were like involved in a backstage
and trust me,
deal, right? Last week.
I know a thing or two about scissoring.
Oh. Bowens. Bowens. Easy.
Sultan of SWAT, while Anthony Bowens is the Sultan of Scissor. And there may be a few of you who are tuning in for the very first time tonight because National Scissoring Day was trending all day long. Let me break it down for you. Scissoring is a handshake. It's a sign of friendship. That's right, Ted.
It's a sign of friendship.
True team. And we understand that the people
Yeah, he's doing that. I like that.
represented by a real team, not two dudes who were thrown together like Keith Lee and Sneaky Swerve. Sneaky Swerve would like you to believe that they deserve to be the AEW Tag Team Champions. Sneaky Swerve would like you to believe that they're the most popular thing in this industry. Well, they're wrong. Everyone loves the Acclaimed.
Do Lee and Swerve really think they're the greatest or whatever he's accusing them of?
Swerve, this isn't your house.
It's like, I'm not trying to be liked. I'm trying to be champion. That's how I would feel if I was a wrestler. I guess that would make you a heel.
Daddy S. This is Daddy S's house.
It's Daddy Ass's house. Okay.
Now for everybody in the building and the millions.
Did he just do the Rock's millions? Have they been doing that? That's cheap. You stole it.
With that being said, I was sent down to City Hall today and asked, yes, I'm a big deal,
City Hall.
if I would present you guys with this.
Okay, he's not going to turn on him, is he? Oh, no. It's a giant scissor. It's got to be a giant pair of scissors. Those are bigger than the ones Brutus had. Look at the reaction for a pair of... Jesus. Yo, don't be cutting people up with that. He's running with scissors. It's very scary.
This is so much fun. This really is. Folks, at this point in the service, we'd like everybody to turn to your right and your left and offer a sign of peace to your neighbor.
Oh, okay. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. That's all my man. Bub, peace be with you. Where's Bub? Neither one of my cats are here for me to give them peace. Tito's gone too. I'm peaceless. I got nobody to peace to. Peace, y'all. You guys are not on my right or my left. You're in front of me. And they didn't tell me to issue peace to people in front of me. So, sorry.
About 40 years ago, here in this city, Washington, D.C., greatness was achieved when Washington won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Super Bowl 17. A lot of people here probably don't remember that. I wasn't even born yet, but it means a lot to me because my dad was on that championship team.
So the one in, what, 82, I guess? Or what year would that have been? Yeah, 82. Because I know they won in 92. I met Mark Rippon, their quarterback, right after that happened.
Prized possession. He wears it proudly to this day. And he achieved greatness here all those years ago, just like the Acclaimed achieved greatness when we won the AEW Tag Team titles. This city represents also the ugly side of America, the division in our country. But one thing we can agree on is that everyone loves the Acclaimed.
Okay, well, that's fair enough.
So put your twos up, put your scissors up right now.
One thing I will say about the Acclaimed,
To bring everyone together. Today there is no left and no right, no red, no blue. The Acclaimed wears pink and everyone looks good in pink, baby.
that's true. I do like pink and black.
Choice, we are the people's voice. And we're going to make history here tonight. We're going to do the first ever bipartisan scissor to unite this country.
Bipartisan scissor. I've even seen some of the biggest assholish AEW haters online, the ones that just have a baseball bat up their ass. Even they have acknowledged the overness of the Acclaimed, so that tells you how over they are. Because people find any reason to hate AEW if they want to bad enough.
He was saying some nasty things about Strickland, so let's see what's wrong.
But even they're like, okay, yeah, they're kind of over, so you can't deny it.
He was so upset they didn't even show up last week. This is the most idiotic thing I've Oh, congratulations on your whole #1 selling t-shirt on AEWshop.com. Congratulations, Billy. Now some more kids can go to school and get suspended again in this day.
That is kind of true.
These are your tag champ role models you want for your children.
I was already out of high school by the time I graduated in 95, so I was long gone before Suck It and all that shit started. So I can only imagine what school was like in those days. Austin 316, and everybody cutting promos in the lunchroom and stuff. It was probably madness. It was fucking madness, I bet.
Take you out. So next week when we go, yeah, I'm talking to you, Billy. Next week when we go to Toronto, it's going to be
I'd probably be annoyed by it if I was in school at that time.
coming into whose house? One-on-one. And don't you think about putting them two fingers up in my face, because if you do that, you're never going to use that hand again. Because we all know rock beats scissors every day.
Is that a real rock? Is that a crack rock? I hope not. Mark, confiscate the crack rock. Because MJF cut that promo for the live audience, saying it was crackhead. DC meant disgusting crackheads. So Swerve could have easily picked one up. Have it tested for crack.
You need me to beat Swerve because you can't do it by yourself. We saw Grand Slam. Okay? There's a little bit of an interference.
School probably was pretty awesome with DX and Rock and Austin. I guess you're probably right. Nobody talked about wrestling when I was in school.
With Swerve Strickland. And let's seal the deal tonight. And give these people what they want. And that's you three scissoring me.
What the fuck? The only thing I remember right now, they're going to kick the shit out of Mark Sterling. That's good. They're probably going to mic drop him too, which is nice. One time in high school, I do remember after WrestleMania 8 being asked what happened at the lunch table. And I remember describing to one kid the Bret Hart and Roddy Piper match. I'm like, oh my God, it was awesome. It was like, he won? He beat him? I'm like, yes. It was the best. Bret Hart's the new IC champ.
Next week, Dynamite, Toronto. But you can leave now because we have one more thing to do.
Oh, yeah, scissor. Well, that's what the fans needed. I will be interested when the ratings come out and you kind of like, see the breakdown and whatnot to see the numbers for that and how it compared to the rest of the show. I don't think Billy Gunn being on Raw is very likely, Roderick. I still wouldn't totally rule it out because if he was going to be there, I don't know if WWE would want to really super duper advertise that. So maybe it'll be like a last minute thing or they'll bring him out special. But I'm starting to think it's probably just not likely. But like I said, if something happens, if we see some sort of WWE influence here, if Cody sends a taped message in or something, then maybe that could be a clue that maybe some sort of deal was done. But I kind of think, no, you don't really need him there. It's not a big deal. I don't think the DX celebration is really going to be anything more than just an in-ring segment. It's probably not worth the trouble to get Billy for something that is insignificant. Yeah, they're celebrating the 25th, but it doesn't mean it. It's just a dumb-ass segment. They're going to do the thing. They're going to tell terrible jokes. Triple H is going to fail miserably at comedy, like always. And I just don't think, in the end of the day, it's even necessary to bring him there. I just think it would be cool if they did, and that AEW and WWE could come together for specific situations, when it doesn't involve any main event talent and, there's enough history involved. Why not? You strongly dislike John Silver? Oh, man. I kind of like the little fella. I can only imagine, Jeremy. I can only imagine the amount of crotch chops there probably were in high school. Like, yeah, when the crotch chops really started, I guess that would have been around 98. So probably like 98 to 2001. But even it probably lingered. I'm sure people were crotch chopping in 2005 and 6 too. So it was probably a whole different thing. I can only imagine the wrestling t-shirt. Nobody wore wrestling t-shirts. If a kid did wear a wrestling t-shirt to high school, in my high school, they would have been picked on. Nobody would have thought it was cool. It was weird because I lived in the South and you should like wrestling. So I was kind of in the closet with it, during a lot of those years. I had a few friends that watched it and we would discuss a little bit, but it's not something I'd be taking to school with me and talking to everybody about. But that probably changed in the Attitude Era. And if I would have been in high school, like, say in 98, 99, 2000, I definitely would have been wearing some Austin 316 shirts. Oh, I would have been the worst. I'd be telling my mom to suck it and shit. I'd be the worst. Me and my parents were already living on opposite sides of the country by the time Suck It became a thing.
You know what beats next day shipping? Getting it the same day. So shop Ace online and get free in-store or curbside pickup right in your neighborhood. Or get what you need delivered the very same day you order.
Yeah, maybe a video would be more appropriate, right, Victor? Because at least that would be in line with what AEW has done, because they allowed Jericho and Danielson and Paul White to send in those videos for John Cena. But if they allow Billy Gunn to do this, I feel like at this point WWE owes them one, and WWE probably doesn't want to repay that favor, or in no rush to repay it. She looks like a kid. Sports entertainer coach.
Charisma, personality, play.
Ugh, these two.
You two are right that I could work on my charisma and y'all could work on your wrestling. And so there's two of us, and there just happens to be two of you. And Rampage on Friday.
Oh.
What do you guys say? You know what? Perfect. Because as Jericho's always saying,
Sports entertainers always beats pro wrestlers.
Entertaining. So it's going to be Madison and Sky Blue, I guess, taking on Anna Jay and Ty Mello. Right on Rampage. Here comes Roosh. Jose, the assistant, was weighing in on some of that Andrade stuff, too, confirming the initial altercation did happen. The one that sparked the Twitter beef. Yeah, I know in a lot of 2000s, because I was wearing them myself. It was just I was out of high school at that point, so I could only imagine the shirts that were roaming the halls during that time. Probably fucking half the school was wearing that stuff, I would think. But I would wear my wrestling shirts quite often if I was just out and about. When I went to the store or something, I just throw on a pair of jeans and my Jericho shirt and go to Kroger. But then when I started managing this little Italian place that we basically just built from the ground up, we had shirts made, and everywhere I went, no matter what I was doing, I just wore the restaurant shirt. It's advertising. So whenever I went anywhere, the big name was on the back of it, and just wore that everywhere I went. Because it looked good on me. Nice white shirt, just wear it with some jeans. I was looking dope, fresh, fly. Machismo just squirting out of me from every direction. I had hair and shit. All right, Roosh and Hangman. This is great. Cincinnati, that's right. That's coming up in 2 weeks. That's the title match that Hangman gets. Yeah, I would think based on where I lived, because I did live in the South, that a ton of kids at my high school after I left probably were wearing a lot of shirts. I remember at that time, too, you could find so much, like, I don't know if it was bootleg stuff or what kind of licensed shit it was, but you get the good stuff from, like, the merch stands when you go to live events or pay-per-views or TV or something, and, of course, in the catalog, and then when the website started, you could buy online. But every now and then, like if you just cruised your mall and went into like a J.C. Penney or a Macy's, you'd find WWE shit, but it was weird looking shit. It wasn't like you weren't going to get an Austin 316 shirt there. It would be like a picture of Austin with some funny ass designs and Stone Cold Steve Austin. It would just look weird, but it would have WWE logos on it. So I don't know what kind of third party crap that was, but felt like all the stores were trying to get in on t-shirts. I saw Stone Cold shirts hanging in a 7-Eleven, but it just looked like some weird off the wall stuff. I don't think I have it anymore, but at one point I bought a shirt like that. It was a WWF just logo shirt, but instead of WWF Attitude, it had the scratch logo. It said World Wrestling Federation, but it wasn't a WWE license thing. So I bought the shirt and I cut it. I cut out the front of it, and then I basically used it as upholstery and put it around a piece of cardboard and then stapled the fabric around the back to where when I flip it around, I've got a nice like fabric, a square of the WWF logo. And then I put that inside of a picture frame. It looked great. And I hung it in like with my other wrestling memorabilia. And I think I might have kept it for fun. It might be buried in a bin, but I also think I might have tossed it. But it hung up for quite a long time. Latuda. Symptoms may include dizziness, loss of breath, your asshole might fall off. What's up, Leonardo? It's all good, man. Dynamite has been an interesting one tonight with all the drama going on with Andrade and Sammy Guevara, which, in case you don't know, big fight backstage. Andrade was sent home. Match on Rampage is now off. Sammy is still there, wrestling in the main event tonight. A lot of rumors going around that Andrade might be just gone. He might be able to get out of this. I don't know. So, Ty Mello, looks like about 37 minutes ago, just tweeted out 3 laughing faces, or 4, excuse me. I don't know what that means. Maybe that means good point brought up by Steve on Twitter. They literally said they were going to do this on Twitter. So the fact that, and I talked about this earlier, why didn't they make sure that these two guys were never alone together in proximity, or there was always somebody there moderating if there is going to be some sort of hash out or something like that, or at least inform security or whatnot. It was a preventable altercation, and it shouldn't have happened. So very true. Another example of mismanagement in AEW, things that shouldn't be happening. They got way too much talent and potential there for stuff like this to be tripping them up. They are just a few months ago, it felt like, aside from the women's booking, overall things were going pretty damn well. A few issues aside, but boy, has that landscape changed. Hangman's so strong. Oh, some stuff is funny. Yeah, Andrade could have been gone from AEW if he lost on Friday, but I just don't know if that was really going to be the plan. I kind of thought he would still win, and they were basically just kind of playing into the rumors of him wanting out. But he just seems like he's going to manifest it and just make it happen for himself, and he might have gone into TV with that mindset tonight, which might be why he was sent home. He might have gone in there and just say, I'm just going to get myself fired, or try to anyway. One way or the other, I just don't want to be here. So I'll make a big enough of a scene that'll just get that accomplished. Oof. But I just think if you're Sammy Guevara, you know, if I'm him, I've already approached it from Andrade's viewpoint. But if I'm Sammy Guevara, I'm like, it's probably in my best interest and for my best safety to smooth it over with this guy and squash any beef that exists because, you know, I don't want this guy or his friends, starting to hate me. I got enough locker room heat as it is. And, this is something I should probably try to fix unless whatever went on behind the scenes is unfixable. But I just think if Sammy was a complete prick to Andrade and he was a cocky asshole to his face, I just think that's incredibly stupid. And I don't know why you'd want to do that. So I feel that maybe Andrade was just maybe a little more the aggressor. I mean, Sammy was pretty harsh what he said on Twitter. Called him a favor hire and go back to WWE. We know that's what you want to do. Andrade, I could see him getting pretty pissed off about that. Ugh. No, kick out by Roosh. I definitely think AEW does need some sort of, a social media training or social media management team or etiquette team or anything like that to try to monitor the behavior of some of these guys. I mean, you don't want to take control of their lives or anything like how WWE does, but you have to somehow understand that you're going to have unprofessionalism and immaturity from time to time when you don't. Oof. Oh, big headbutt and knee to the face. Oh, God. Oh, God. Jesus, that made me flinch. It wasn't so bad. Oof. Hangman kicks out. Those are the type of moves that I feel like can go horribly wrong. Roosh licking his own blood. Yeah, Khan needs to get into control of his employees. He can't just do something after the fact. He needs to make sure these things don't happen as well. I mean, there's two sides to that, You also have to have some prevention here. Oh, big clothesline. Big buckshot. That was nice. That is ball game. Goodbye, Roosh. Thanks for coming. Sammy and Andrade should settle it in a fight pit. Yeah, this is just, like I said earlier, I think it's insulting to AEW because of just everything they got going on right now. Don't make things worse. They're trying to recover from that fiasco, that absolute disaster at All Out. And these two fuckers making that more difficult is just not cool. You got a locker room full of men and women there that don't need your shit messing things up any worse, Oh, here comes Moxley. Probably going to stand with Hangman, I suppose, huh? Moxley. Yeah, private parties out there.
Could we see these two men collide 13 days from tonight in Cincinnati? I've been waiting for this for 3 years.
3 years.
3 years of AEW Dynamite. 3 years of watching you. 3 years of studying you because I knew this was coming. 3 years of us circling each other. Between the two of us, we've beaten just about everybody there is to beat.
According to this Select article, Sammy Guevara shoved Andrade and then Andrade threw a punch. But we'll dive into that more very soon. Yeah, Cincinnati.
On October 18th, there will be one last man standing here in AEW.
Unfortunately for Tony Khan, he probably did not write into any of these contracts, hey, if you act like a jerk off or if you get in a fight, I will just freeze your contract and keep you off TV and suspend you indefinitely until I just feel like bringing you back. I'd threaten them. You got to dangle something that can actually hurt them in front of them. Somebody like Andrade, you fire him, he's fine. He has another job. Other people firing him might be more serious, you know? That's why certain talent at a certain position is always going to get away with more. They know their worth and they know their value. Part of me admires that because I would want to take my life into my own hands too. And if I wanted something to happen, I'd try to make it happen. No matter what I had to do. Okay, Hangman wants to do it right now. He'd be crazy not to have a jerk-off clause. Every contract needs a jerk-off clause. Totally. They'll start putting them in now, I bet.
You're a sweet kid. Like a lot of kids around here, you said. Mouth gets you in trouble.
They bleeped something there. I couldn't catch what he said.
I'm gonna let you off the hook just once.
Oh no, Hangman's going to go into his business for himself all the time now.
You got 13 days. You watch your damn mouth.
I don't know what line you're referring to. I mean, too, you have to wonder if the network, although they're very happy with AEW, they're still doing fine on producing TV with all this nonsense going on backstage. But they're like, dude, this publicity you guys are having is bad. Oh, we just said who had suggested Willow as the person to take down Jade. I said that could only be accomplished if you booked it in a crazy 1-2-3 kid Razor Ramon scenario where it's just a dumb win, dumb luck. Caught her with a quick surprise 3 count, that type of thing.
You're so confident that you're going to be 39-0. But you can't win forever. Nobody wins forever. So what if you're 38-1 and I'm the one?
Okay. Oh, I was probably talking during whatever Punk reference he said. I didn't realize I think that's the first reference to Punk then, if that's what he said. TBS really doesn't want them cursing anymore. I think they don't maybe want them cursing as much. I mean, Paige said shit last week, didn't she? That's going to be Luchasaurus and poor Fuego? Oh, no. Sorry, Fuego.
He may not see the end of this episode. Yes. Luchasaurus just spiked Fuego, and now, oh God, his spine's gonna get extended.
Well, as long as whatever was said was directed at your opponent, then that's not going into business for yourself. If you're doing something off the wall, talking about something else, going on too long in your promo, going off script, saying something that wasn't previously discussed. I don't think anything that was said in that promo falls into that category at all. I think fans now that it was said that Punk was mad because Page went into business for himself. Now that's going to make the audience very, very loosely define what that means, which is what they do with everything. And now everybody's going to go into business for themselves. Jungle Boy's going into business for himself. I'm kidding. We just juking you up in here, Alex. Oh. So that was so what happens when you were joking and I didn't realize it, and then I was just joking back at you? Does that create a black hole of funny and then just makes the whole thing unfunny? I think I went into business for myself.
But now, I am going to break your fingers.
Oh.
I am going to break your nose.
Fingers, nose.
I'm going to break your arm. I am going to break you piece by miserable piece until I break you.
So what kind of match are we going to get with Lucha and Jungle here?
And you pick the place.
Okay, time and place.
I'll be ready. There ain't no back down. No back down in Jungle Boy.
Well, Jungle, wouldn't it have been easier for you just to pick it?
Come back here this week, Jungle Boy. And it would be just as easy for us to step in this ring, drop you, and leave you in a pool of your own piss and blood. But you know what? You got me thinking here. You said we picked the time and place. Well, we're in your nation's capital of Washington, D.C. And apparently I'm the only honest person in Washington, D.C., because I can tell you right now, that match will not be happening in this cesspool in front of these losers.
And this cesspool in front of these losers. Come again.
The time is next Wednesday, live on Dynamite.
Next Wednesday.
The place is my hometown, Toronto,
That's right, they're in Toronto.
Canada.
They should do a good attendance for that, being as that's the first time up there, I think, right? Well, Jungle Boy, you had to see that one coming. You came out there and let them pick the time and place. Did you not look at AEW's schedule? He should have looked at it and said, well, fuck, we're in Toronto next week. Christian will probably find a way to take advantage of that, so he should have came out and said, you name the time and place as long as it's not next week, and you're on. All right, we are getting Jade and Willow. Gates of Agony and FTR. Good, so that is happening. I thought they might do an 8-man there. Pac and Trent. Title match, right?
You're upset, but I heard you're a little moody, are you? Friend, Pat calls himself a bastard. I guess it's because he talks in a fake, scary voice and he makes mean faces. And he needs to use a hammer to win matches and hurt our friend. You blindsided me, and all of a sudden I'm the bad guy, huh? This Friday I'm going to be doing a little bit of revenge. I don't need a hammer to hurt somebody.
You know, it might be kind of fun just to randomly put the belt on Trent. Get the best friends out there with a ref bump and a fucking orange punch. And then he falls on him, and it's kind of like, I don't know, you could set it up kind of like Rock and Mankind in 99. Yes, I know, it's not the same thing. But I think the fans would kind of cheer for a situation like that. And you can even just run it back and have Pac win the belt back in a couple weeks or something. But might be a nice quick run for fun for Trent. Nobody would see it coming. The Ocho. All right, main event up next.
Friday on TNT. It's 2 hours of live AEW action with Rampage at 10. Followed immediately by Battle of the Belts 4. It's all live on TNT.
Yeah, dudes are going into business for themselves all the time in the Attitude Era. Sean putting the dildo in his pants or whatever and dancing in front of Jim Ross's face, and Sunny Days, and oh my God. Garcia has the most Dynamite main events. He might, and it's all been in a short amount of time, right? Feels like he's done a good 3 of them, I feel like, this year alone. Most, I feel like that would still be crazy that he has the most, but even more than Jericho? How would he have more than Jericho? So how's Garcia going to come out here? It'd be funny if Garcia came out with the JAS And then when they made their entrance, it's like, okay, guys, see you later. I'm going to go over here to this corner now and wait for my teammate. Does Garcia turn on Bryan Danielson tonight? I don't know. I feel like he could turn on him or even join Blackpool Combat Club for good. But I could kind of see a turn. And I would like that. Here's why I would like that. If Garcia turns tonight and the JAS wins and Garcia remains with the JAS, I can see Danielson winning the Ring of Honor title from Jericho. I feel like that might be a possibility. And that would be fun. I don't want to sing Judas. Ooh, I'd rather sing Salisbury Hill, which is playing right now. Better song. What's up, Deshaun? What's going on? He is a 68-year-old subscriber. Man, you old, Deshaun. Oh. Oh, it's Arby's. Is that a McRib? I thought Arby's was going to launch their own McRib. Theirs looks a little better. Might be actual real pork. I wonder when the McRib is coming back. Hey, any 80s movies fans? You know what I watched last night? I've never seen in my life, never even heard of in my life. Elizabeth's seen the movie 30 times, and we watched it from 1985. Enemy Mine, Dennis Quaid, Louis Gossett Jr. Never even seen it. Was the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen. I guess it's a really popular movie. It got good reviews. I think maybe just looking at it 40 years later, it's like, or 35 years too late. Maybe I just wasn't giving it the credit, but it was weird. Like, what the hell am I watching here? I know Deshaun has 68 followers. I just thought I would be funny and call him old. There's Sammy. I can't wait till he gets tagged in for the first time. I like Jericho's red and black gear. When did Christian separate his shoulder? When his shoulders were being naughty and they were just being bad, so he separated him. You stand over there. I have experienced the Judas song a few times. Experience done in the Jericho Cruise. We sang the shit out of it. They had a pretty good entrance at Double or Nothing, too, when they came out in the boy band all in white. That was good stuff. They gave him shit for shouting out his wife. What assholes. Tony Schiavone. Yeah. See, I do feel like they're starting to plant seeds for him to turn. Boy, they didn't even do the Jericho appreciation graphic for his video and his entrance when he came out. Boy, he must be really on the outs with Jericho. There's no way he'll get back in. Look at poor Danielson. It's like, fuck, man. I'm so excited to be here. It's fucking nonsense backstage. Yeah, so I feel if Garcia will turn, it'll be here. He'll rejoin with the JAS, but then maybe Danielson winds up winning the Ring of Honor title, perhaps, from Jericho. I thought Danielson was going to win the AEW title. He did not, so maybe Ring of Honor title will be the next best thing. That'll be cool to give him back to that. Give him that back, after all these years. All right, Sam, what's the crowd reaction here going to be for Sammy, one half of Les Sex Gods? Andrade and Andrade and Malachi are going to form a team in WWE. Le Released Gods. Sammy Dramara. I think, Alex, I asked that same question last week or the week before. I've only recently noticed that Danielson's song has lyrics, but I know he's had it longer than tonight because I've asked that same question before. But it might be new. But a lot of times I don't pay a ton of attention. If I'm streaming and watching this shit live, I'm talking to you guys, and sometimes I'm not even paying attention who's on commentary and stuff as much as I should. Gator roll, I like it. Was he doing that for Brody, you think? I love Sammy sign right next to the Sammy Dramaro sign, which is hilarious. Well, he's got to be getting the shit heckled out of him right now on the ring apron. Yo, Sammy, I'm trying to kick your ass or something like, If I was Sammy, I'm like, does it look like he kicked my ass? Not a scratch on me. I mean, unless Sammy is secretly some well-trained martial artist who can literally take your life with one blow, I just don't have any idea why he would antagonize a fight with someone like Andrade or anybody else that he probably shouldn't be picking a fight with. You got a good-looking face, kid. Nice set of chompers. Would hate to see them caved in. Sammy came out with a black eye. Yeah, like Hogan at WrestleMania 9. Oh, he got injured at the gym. Oh. Hollywood guy, appreciate the $5. Or do you think the censorship of some works is hurting AEW? In the beginning, it was said often. Now it's censored. Not a fan, to be honest. Do you think censorship of some works is hurting AEW? In the beginning, it was said often. Now it's censored. Are you talking about like saying shit and stuff? Words. I mean words. Okay. Okay, do you think censorship of some words is hurting AEW? In the beginning, it was said often, now it's censored. No, I think AEW I think that stuff's just like bonus. I don't think the decision of a network to say, okay, you can say shit now or you can't say shit now, in the grand scheme of things, should really be a factor in a company's success or not. So no, I don't think it matters one way or the other if you say shit or not. And I also don't think it matters if you say it at one point and then you have to stop saying it, because WWE used to have to do the same thing. There was a whole bunch of years there where they couldn't do certain things, and I would say it slowed them down a little bit, but rarely played a factor. And if it was ever going to be a determining factor, it would have been during that time when WWE's business was so down in '95. And you point to stuff like the Shawn and Razor match where they couldn't use the ladder at SummerSlam '95 as a weapon because of standards and practices and whatnot. So that stuff will always get in the way. But something as minor as that, considering everything else going on in AEW right now, I don't consider it to be that big of a problem. You can't control what the network makes you do or what they want. And, and I also think that they were getting a little overboard with it. It felt like they were saying shit just for the sake of saying shit, just because they could say shit. And I I think that's stupid. I think they should use that luxury that they have when necessary, or if you need a fiery promo when you know, but it's felt like they were going to get at least one shit or two shits in a week. And to me, that was almost equally lame, you know, because they were so deliberately doing it. And very few times did it feel genuine and authentic. And it felt like somebody was saying it like they would actually say it if they were talking. A lot of times they shoehorn the word shit in, and it doesn't look good. So I don't have any problem, and nor do I care, and nor do I need the word shit to be able to tell me an adequate story. I can follow the story without that. But certainly in the right situation, when you got a promo that's extremely intense or extremely personal, and you got to step over the line a little bit, that's when it has its meaning. It means so much more than just doing it for the sake of doing it. So no, I don't really think it hurts AEW at all to censor it now after not censoring it before, but I think there's bigger factors that should make a company successful or not than that. Guevara's up to the top. Watch out, Sammy. Spanish Fly, look out. This freaks me the fuck out. God. Yeah, I think the Hogan and Savage rumor of WrestleMania 9 has been debunked. I do think it was some kind of an accident, if I remember right. But it's still fishy, so I think there will always be a little bit of question to it, but I don't even remember the story now. But however far I read about it, I remember coming to the determination that Savage didn't punch Hogan, but it would have been cool if he did. I feel like Vince would be really pissed at Randy if he did that too. Randy was calling WrestleMania that night. Got fed grapes. Look at those two. Jericho might be like Jericho and Sammy are bros. I know that, but there's got to be a part of Jericho as a veteran, as a locker room leader, that might not be too happy with Sammy right now. Oh, Savage hated Hogan, yeah, but in '93 they were coexisting. Mm-hmm. Oh, Sammy coming in. Oof. Got him out of there. Jericho and Garcia, what's going to happen? I feel like we still got 7 minutes left, or we're getting that 15-minute overrun. Up there we go. They're fighting. So that makes me think that maybe Garcia is not going to turn. Oh yeah, I think there's definitely a list Sammy might be on. And I think a lot of the fans are going to assume that he's not going to be punished, but don't just assume that. There very well could be some punishment coming his way. And maybe they're going to make him, talk to officials or professionals or get some sort of training on, I don't know if you necessarily classify it as sensitivity, but just now how to be stupid on social media. I know, like, a lot of companies have that. They have I know they have, like, big meetings with company employees in certain circles of life that they tell them, right and wrong ways to behave on social media. That's why when you see the most vile and repugnant people, oof, most of them have shit lives that would never require them to behave themselves on social media. You still suck. I love that. After a good spot, you still suck. Fans are never going to like poor Sammy. Yeah, well, yeah, you would think, Alex, prior to today that Jericho would keep Sammy off the list because they're boys. But sometimes even your buddies you get pissed at, and even you got to give them some tough love. Jericho is the veteran, needs to dad up on Sammy and be like, bro, that wasn't cool. Whether it was your fault or not, you know, it's not what the company needs right now, and you should have known better. You should have been the bigger person, thought bigger. Thought more past yourself and your own situation. Andrade should have done the same. He's got the crossface on him, or chicken wing, excuse me. Now he's into the crossface. Danielson's going to put a crossface on Jericho. We got dueling crossfaces. Is this going to be the finish? 10 minutes after the second hour? Mm. Mm. Poor Sammy. Money, fame, hot wife. I'd trade places with the poor fella if I could. Oh, Jesus. I'm pretty happy with my life. There's very few people I would really trade places with, but if I ever did, I would pick someone that has a good reputation. I want as few people to think I'm a douche as possible. Obviously, everybody has got a hater, no matter how good of a person you are. There's people that hate Adam Cole. You must be a pretty big asshole to hate a guy like that. Oh, my God, what a pile driver to Sammy. Jesus. Stuck him his right. Now his foot's under the rope. Jericho's going to make the save. Running knee from Danielson off the ring apron into Jericho's face. We are 12 minutes past the hour according to my clock, so finish is coming here. Oh, wow, big kick. Oh, wow. Fuck. Danielson's through the table. I like the Omega shirt, the blue shirt with the Sega font. That's awesome. That's nice of you, Alex. Oh, wow. I forgot what he calls it, the GTFH or something. What does he call it? Whatever that was, it was nasty on the side of Garcia's head. Look at Artery's like, Sammy, you got 2 minutes. Go for that 450 thing you do. Try not to fist fight anybody on the way down. Big shooting star, knees are up, and he caught it right in the ribs. Sharpshooter for the win. Oh, yeah, Sammy's got to take the finish here, right? We should have seen this coming 10 miles away, right? Tap him out. Like Tony Khan has got to make Sammy tap out. Nope, he's going to get out of this. Oh, no, I thought for sure. That was so lame. I was like, why is Garcia trying to get closer to the ropes? He was trying to get in position for Jericho to whack him with the belt. And Sammy's going to win. Here I'm thinking he's going to take the pin. He's going to win, isn't he? Yep. I'm almost happier with that. Oh, what? Oh, I can only imagine Twitter. What? Oh my God. Okay, so what this means, what Twitter is going to think this means, is that Sammy Guevara was completely in the wrong. Andrade showed up to the arena to politely discuss things with him, and then Sammy Guevara slapped him and punched him in the face, and then they sent home Andrade and canceled his match and put Sammy Guevara over in the main event. That's what happened. That's what Twitter's going to tell you happened. I think that's funny that he got the finish and Sammy got the win. That's pretty hilarious. And we're going to see here, this might be saved for social media, but Garcia and Jericho are in the same shot. But no, Jericho's walking away. Oh, here we go. World Championship live next Wednesday. Jericho and Bryan Danielson. I just mentioned that a minute ago. Oh, so interesting. What drama. Well, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what social media is going to be saying about that finish. Sammy Guevara actually getting the pin and winning the match for his team after the altercation backstage with Andrade prior to the show that got Andrade sent home, and the way Twitter is going to define this because of how hated Sammy Guevara is. Twitter is going to automatically assume that what happened was that Sammy Guevara started everything. He's the cause of everything. And then Andrade showed up to the arena today, all nice and calm and polite and ready to sit down over a nice iced latte and hash out their differences. And when he attempted that, Sammy Guevara just got pissed, threw the coffee in his face and threw a punch at him. And then security broke it up. And to rectify the situation, they sent Andrade home and they canceled his match against Preston on Rampage, and they put over Sammy in the main event tonight of Dynamite. That's what Twitter is going to think happened. Unfortunately, that's not the truth. And I think we're going to learn about what happened between Andrade and Sammy Guevara, but based on what we saw tonight and how Tony Khan reacted after the CM Punk and Elite altercation, stripping everybody, including his world champion, if he was willing to do all of that, I think it's pretty safe to say he would have had no problem removing Sammy Guevara from tonight's main event as well. So the fact that we saw Guevara backstage in the promo, they advertised him all night, he was out here for the match, and he got the victory, makes me think that either it's them just creating more buzz with the buzz they already have and get people talking more, or, you know, maybe this is a situation where Sammy wasn't in the wrong. I think he definitely acted immaturely. I think they both did. Neither guy has any business putting the company they work for through this bullshit after what it's been through. But I think maybe as the stories come out, and like I said, I have no idea who's in the right or the wrong here, but based on the evidence we saw here, you know, I said that it is not beyond reason in my mind that if you look at it from Andrade's perspective and some of the things he's been saying in interviews and on social media, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that he went to TV today with the intent on getting himself fired, because he's got all the leverage in the world, or maybe not leverage, but he's in a great position, I should say, because even though he might be burning this bridge, it's probably a bridge he's never going to have to cross again if he goes back to WWE. So he will be there, and he has a job waiting for him. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the contract, none of that stuff. So he might have gone to TV tonight with the intent of slapping around Sammy Guevara in the hopes that maybe it gets him sent home or sent away from the promotion. Even yesterday, he quote tweeted Preston and said, "I hope I can be there on Friday." I mean, their match is scheduled, and he even said yesterday, "I hope I'm there," because he said as much in his tweets on social media that he was going to confront Sammy Guevara on Dynamite on Wednesday. So this was preventable. Why didn't AEW take precaution? Tony Khan is on Twitter all the time. He saw all this bullshit going on between them. Why didn't he inform security or put a word out on the locker room? Whatever you do, don't let these two be alone together without some supervision or without somebody there to moderate. He should have definitely told the legal department, informed security, and did whatever he could to make sure that nothing happened here due to the volatility of the social media posts. I believe two men should just be able to square up and hash out their issues without getting physical. But if you fear that that's possible because it's already happened to you at All Out, then maybe you should take some precautions to make sure this shit stops. It's totally fine to punish after the fact, but you still have to make sure it doesn't happen in the first place. So this is just another example, I think, of a lot of the mismanagement in AEW. They've been making strides. They have made some hires and put some people in positions of power in the company, but that really, needs to tighten up as best as it can. And I think this situation with behavior in the locker room needs to be addressed with a social media manager or an etiquette team or somebody like that who talks to the talent and say, hey, don't be idiots on social media. Think about what you say before you send it out, because what you say could affect you, could affect the company and the publicity. And with everything we've got going on right now, the last thing we need is you fuckers messing it up with your bullshit drama. I mean, this is a meeting that I feel like needs to happen, but we've already heard of several talent meetings happening in AEW since All Out, and nothing seems to be working. So, like I said earlier, I don't know who is at fault here. We'll probably learn more in the upcoming hours, and probably we'll learn a lot tomorrow, and who knows, we might even get an announcement regarding Andrade about a full-blown release. We will find out. But what a crazy night in AEW. You wouldn't even have known it was their 3-year anniversary. Still a very good show, fun wrestling and everything going on. But for the most part, we were talking about what was going on with Andrade and Sammy Guevara. And there is our token moron. No, sorry, Suspect 333. It's not a work. This is the problem with people who learn the word work. They think everything is, and you're dumb. So no, it's not a work. Yeah, unless they are building Andrade and Charlotte against Sammy and Ty Mello, then it might be a work, but no, it is not. I think Andrade just really, really, really wants to go back to WWE and has just decided that he's going to make that happen for himself. And you know what? I don't even blame him if that turns out to be the case. I'm not saying it is. I have no fucking idea. Don't take anything I say as news because I haven't read any more than you guys have. But I wouldn't be surprised if that turns out to be the story. And he's just... He already has shown us that he gives zero fucks. So it's not unlike him and unlike his personality, just to say this might be my ticket out of here, because if TK is not granting releases, maybe there's something I can do to push this along, and maybe he's just going to grant me one. And maybe I'll just make it clear, I do not want to be here. Yeah, how you know? So best of luck to Andrade. Best of luck to Sammy Guevara. Sammy, if I'm you, I'm cooling my jets for a bit. Whatever you're doing that's rubbing people the wrong way, knock it off, because this isn't good for you. You already got enough heat as it is with the general wrestling audience. A lot of it is completely unfounded because it's just natural to dislike somebody like Sammy and Ty Mello when they're flaunting their relationship in your face. Wrestling fans are very easy to trigger, and of course they're just going to naturally hate them. It's human nature. I get it. So don't make things worse for yourself unless the intent is to make you one of the top heels in the business. But Guevara really hasn't been doing that. He's just been kind of a slimy type of heel on the side who just happens to be one hell of a wrestler and a great athlete. So I think Guevara, since this is twice now in a very short amount of time that he's had an issue with a fellow member of the locker room, I think it's time for, him to reassess, if you will. So anyway, thank you very much for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun. The drama was fun. We'll see how this continues to unfold on social media here in the next several hours. But yeah, Dynamite is in the books, and it was quite the wild ride. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Thank you so much for being here, and I will be talking to you real soon. Have a good one. Peace.